Thanks everyone for joining us on Midday News. We are live from our Abuja studio. I'm bringing you the latest stories shaping Nigeria and the world at this hour. Now, of course, we'll begin with the Nigerian-U.S. joint counter-terrorism operation in the Northwest. The Nigerian military, in decisive coordination with the United States, executed the precision strike operations against identified foreign ISIS-linked terrorists operating in parts of the Northwest Nigeria. The U.S. Africa Command said the strike killed multiple terrorists in Sokoto, bordering Niger Republic to the north. According to Nigeria's Director of Defense Information, Major General Samaila Uba, the operation approved the highest level of government as part of sustained military action to eliminate the terrorist threats and defend Nigeria's sovereignty. He said the strikes followed the credible intelligence and detailed operational planning aimed at degrading the combat capability of targeted terror elements while minimizing collateral damage. In a statement posted on X, Special Advisor to the President on Policy Communication, Daniel Bwala, stressed that the terrorist violence in any form, whether targeting Christians, Muslims, or any community, remains a direct affront to Nigeria's core values and a threat to international peace and security. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Nigeria is in structured security cooperation with the United States carried out precision airstrikes against terrorist targets in the Northwest. The statement says the partnership involves intelligence sharing and strategic coordination consistent with international law and respect for sovereignty. In Jabo district of Tambuwa in Sokoto state, a community previously untouched by insecurity, residents described panic after spotting what looked like a small aircraft overhead. They say the strike left a large crater with the fire still burning. Though no homes were hit, no injuries reported, locals claim to have recovered metal fragments, which they intend to hand over to authorities. In Tangaza, residents confirmed strikes on suspected hideouts of the Lakurawa group. A local official told TVC News that attacks occurred between 10 p.m. and midnight in Waria and Akazin villages. We now take a look at the timeline of events from U.S. President Donald Trump's public warning to joint operations in Nigeria. President Trump issued a strong warning over the presence of ISIS-linked elements allegedly operating in part of Nigeria. The remarks raised global concern over the activities of foreign terrorist fighters in the country's northwest. In response, Nigeria's activated diplomatic and security channels. A high-level delegation led by the National Security Advisor engaged U.S. officials in Washington, focusing on intelligence sharing, counterterrorism, cooperation, and coordinated action against transnational terror attacks. The armed forces of Nigeria, working with the United States, executed a precision strike against identified foreign ISIS-linked elements in the northwest Nigeria. Military authorities say the operation, approved by relevant government authorities, sends a clear message that Nigeria will not serve as a safe haven for terrorists. And joining us live via Zoom is counter-terrorism expert and retired Group Captain Sadiq Shehu. Thank you very much for joining us on Midday News. How significant is this Nigeria-U.S. coordinated strike in Sokoto or the Northwest for the broader counter-terrorism landscape in West Africa? If you can hear me, sir, I said, how significant is this Nigeria-U.S. coordinated strike in Sokoto or the Northwest for this broader counterterrorism landscape in West Africa? Can you hear me, sir?
can hear you now.
Okay, okay. So I was asking, I said, how significant is this Nigeria-US coordinated strike in Sokoto or the Northwest for the broader counter-terrorism landscape in West Africa? Okay, while we're trying to, of course, link up back to the group captain. Also joining me in the studio is TVC senior correspondent, security correspondent, Sifon is here and joins me in the studio. Sifon, let me just ask you, when you heard the news yesterday into this morning, what first came to your mind? How did we really do what we're supposed to do as a country in going into this alignment?
Well, the first thing would be that this is the outcome of Nigeria's engagement with the United States ever since Trump issued the threat. We've seen Nigeria send a delegation led by the National Security Advisor to engage with United States lawmakers and diplomats on the same issue and the fact that Nigeria is ready to collaborate with the United States to ensure that terrorism in Nigeria, West Africa, and the Sahel is stamped out. And we're also seeing a delegation from the United States visit Nigeria, equally the Office of National Security Advice and several other engagements within Nigeria. Now, this is the outcome of the series of engagement, diplomatic, military cooperations, resulting in the targeting of ISIS-linked targets in northwest Nigeria, precisely Sokoto at the moment. We understand that the Americans and the Nigerians are engaged to a large extent in surveillance, leading up to strikes. And we understand this is an intelligence-led strike meant to ensure that the identified target is hit with minimal collateral damage coming from the defense headquarters. That's the word coming from defense headquarters.
So you talked about the collaboration and airstrike, and so I just want to put you in it, because this is a precision strike. How precise was it, in terms of what it means? You get what I'm trying to say?
Well, we, as journalists, we're waiting for the report of the damage, the aftermath of damage assessments, battle damage assessment, that's what they call it, to determine exactly if what was targeted was hit, actually, and the impact of that strike or strikes, as the case may be. We're expecting it from Nigerian authorities, maybe in hours, provided it's been declassified for public consumption.
What kind of signal does this actually mean for terrorists, both in Nigeria and in West Africa?
Well, the military authorities have said no hiding place for terrorists in Nigeria. The Nigerian government has also said no hiding place for terrorists in Nigeria. The U.S. partners have said no hiding place for terrorists in Nigeria and West Africa. So what we gather is that this strike has, sent fear into the camp of enemies of states. And we've heard from unofficial channels that a number of them are now beginning to take to their heels and leave their camps, identify camps, and things like, of that nature, to relocate to other territories. But we understand that land forces, Nigerian forces, are also up and doing to ensure that they carry out what you may call mop-up operations.
Okay, I'll come back to you, but I'm meant to understand that we have the group captain back for us. Group captain, if you can hear me, I was saying that how significant is this Nigeria-US coordinated strike in Sokoto or the Northwest for the broader counterterrorism landscape in West Africa?
Hello.
Yes, you can go on, sir.
Yes, any support that will help Nigeria, in bringing an end to the insecurity problem that has been developing us for over 15 years is welcome. However, there are some concerns. I am currently in Sokoto, though I have not been to one of the areas that has been hit by this airstrike, But what I'm hearing people saying is that the town of Jabo, which is in Tambol local government, has never been known to be an area of either bandit activity, ISIS activity, or Christian genocide, or whatever you want to call it. So that being the case, people are surprised why, even in Sokoto, the area that you can see probably has some bandit activities is the area in the northeast, whereas this area that was hit is not in that area. So what people are concerned is that what led to the information that of all the places to be attacked, not only in Sokoto State, maybe in Zamfara, maybe in Katsina State, or even in the northeast where we have, how was Jabo selected? Because this is information coming from people on the ground that they've never had any kind of security situation in that area. So this is the concern, and the concern is valid. The only thing again that is making people to wonder is that the state government, as of now, has not made this clarity. I would expect, you see, while you are hunting for the bad guys, it is not an excuse to hit people that are innocent. Well, locally, nobody has been hit, but I know some houses have been destroyed, maybe a local clinic or something like that. But the issue still remains. The federal government, which from the statement released by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and even the Nigerian military, that this was a coordinated information or attack that was carried out between Nigeria and the United States. I do not think the government will be doing too much if it explains to people what led to the selection of Jabo as a town. Agreed, during insurgency, people can move. It's possible that this is a moving target, is a mobile target, and at that particular time, there were elements. But the people are all unanimous in this area that their area does not have any security problem that will warrant an airstrike. And I think the federal government should be forthcoming, since they have said that it is something that is joint operation. If the federal government is not joint coming, the people have their representatives. It is within their rights to ask why Jabo was selected. And again, up till now, we do not have any information that some terrorists or some bandits have been killed in that area. Now, as long as you don't do that, you'll only fill people with more fear that they do not know which part of the state is going to be hit.
Okay, Group Captain, are you doubting the intelligence or the information from the federal government? Because these are intelligence, and it's not meant to be shared to the public. But you, as a military person, are you doubting it?
What I am asking for is clarity for the people there. It is not intelligence. Intelligence can be hidden before the attack. Now that the attack has taken place, people need to be told that we attacked because so and so thing happened here, or this is what you suspected area. You are not giving out any security information if you do that. During the planning stage, definitely security requires some secrecy while you are planning, because you don't want the people you are going to attack to give the... But the attack, I am telling you, these are the people that the government, I think the government is not losing anything by coming out to say what made us choose that place is such and such place. Please, when we're talking about security,
Okay. Of course, we'll still, because it's an interesting conversation that he's trying to, there's a narrative that he's trying to make there. But I want you to react to what he said, because he's saying that, there's a difference between when the government is trying to put on an information, and there's a difference when an intelligence is being shared, react to what he said by saying, the government needs to properly tell us how they come to that point where it is this particular location that you have to.
I think the Group Captain is demanding accountability from the government. That if you're targeting, or if you identify the target and you struck a target, that the people deserve at this time to know why that target was picked. The deed has been done, so they demand to know, according to him, why that target has been picked, and they have lawmakers who can call government to question why that target was picked. Just like I said earlier, the battle damage assessments, we are yet to get that information from the Nigerian authorities as to the aftermath of the target, if it was the extent to which it was successful.
Okay, if I have the Group Captain back. Group Captain, there's something that Sheikh said, and I want you to react to it. He talked about the fact that Nigeria should halt the partnership with U.S. By not going ahead with the action. And at the same time, he said instead of Nigeria to go with the U.S., Nigeria should rather go with Pakistan or go to Turkey or go to China. How do you react to that?
Well, first I would say that is his personal opinion, and he has given his reasons why he said that. But without preempting him or reading his mind, I think, again, historically, you know, most of the countries where United States intervened, they didn't end up well. So if he's sounding that as a caution, that is now, but I will not go as far as say that the relationship should be cut off. But what I am saying, again, like Umfondia is speaking, is that there is nothing that affects operational secrecy. If now, after the attack, you tell the people of Jabo, yes, to your own knowledge, you do not have terrorists. But for us, this is what we found at that time. This is not something new. When Americans hit any terrorist target, whether in the US, whether or Israel hit any terrorist, they tell their citizens later that at a particular time, we killed Mr. So and so, who is a terrorist who was doing that and that. It's not asking for too much. And please, like I said, let's not cover it that it's because of security cannot be. The people are looking for assurance. How are the people sure that tomorrow there will not be another? To them, they don't have any problem there. But if the government, it's possible the government has higher information. Now, after the attack, not before the attack, they can come out and say, why we pick Jabo, even though to you, the inhabitants there, you are thinking there is no terrorists there, or there is no ISIS there, our information is this. And unfortunately, even this complicated by the fact, as of now, I do not know, there is no any ISIS member or anybody that has been hit there. All we have is that a few buildings destroyed, maybe some few people, injured. But to the people, it's even the trauma. If our town that does not have any history of banditry or ISIS has been hit, which town again is going to be hit? Like I said, the government is not losing anything by giving this explanation. They owe it to the people of that area.
Okay, Group Captain, we have seen the police cordon that particular area, and I'm very sure an information will be put out very soon by the federal government why that particular area was actually, streamlined to that effect. But I also want to put this question to you. What ripple effect could this strike have on terrorist networks operating across Sahel and neighboring countries? And why I ask this question, because if you see from what they said, it was close. The attack was closer to Niger Republic.
Well, of course, it is going to be bad news for all terrorist organizations. But what I would caution, you see, the language that President Trump is talking about and some of his maybe lawmakers is not a language that will really resonate or be effective or be useful to Nigeria as a country. The more he talks about he's attacking some people because they're attacking some other people because of religion, honestly, is only going to create more problem for Nigeria. And this is why I want the federal government to be very careful. While accepting the support from America, in any case, we have been asking for the U.S. to do that 15 years ago. They have not been doing it. But at the same time, they should be aware of the sensitivities of Nigeria.
Wow. All right. Thank you very much, Group Captain Sadiq Shehu, for your insight there on what exactly happened yesterday in Sokoto. Thank you very much, Sifon. It's been nice having you on set.
Thank you for having me.
All right. We'll go on a break. When we come back, we'll still have more for you on Media News. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back.